Hey everybody, how's it going? We've got some severe thunderstorms to talk about. If you give me just one moment, I'll get us started up here. So I was live earlier, took a break, wanted to wait for more warnings to be issued, and that has now happened. So as of right now, as it stands, we have one warning in the state of Arkansas, and it includes Fort Smith, Greenwood, Barling, Lavaca, Van Buren, Charleston, Hackett. So this does include my house. I live in this part of the state, so if this storm moves in and I lose power, we'll just have to kind of deal with that. I'll be back on as soon as I can. But this is a severe thunderstorm, and it's moving into western Arkansas, so specifically Sebastian counties, parts of Franklin, southern Crawford County, and it will be here soon. It's about to cross over the Oklahoma border. For those of you from the area, you know what I'm talking about, the Pecola-Hackett area. It does look like there might be some hail in this storm. I don't think it's necessarily very large, but there could be some hail in this storm. It could be windy, and it's probably going to be pretty noisy. There's quite a bit of lightning in this storm. We also have a thunderstorm in northwest Arkansas that does not have a severe thunderstorm warning on it. But if you live in Fayetteville, Springdale, Johnson, it's pretty noisy too, and it's going to be moving in fairly soon. No severe thunderstorm warning or tornado warning on that. I know the title of this stream says live tornado coverage. We don't have any tornado warnings right now. I'm just leaving that up as the title because with time today, we're going to eventually have tornado warnings. My plan for the day is to just kind of do marathon coverage and maybe go in and out. I'll have a stream for a little bit, cover the storms as needed, hop off, get back on. So that's the plan for the day. If you aren't familiar or haven't been keeping up with the weather, the severe weather risk today is very high in parts of our state, specifically in central and eastern Arkansas, where we have a substantial tornado risk. Strong to violent tornadoes are possible if everything goes correctly as far as the meteorology side of it. But that's expected later today. A lot of people have been asking me about the timing of severe weather today. And while we have severe thunderstorms right now ongoing in western Arkansas, I want everyone to know that in central and eastern Arkansas, we likely won't deal with this until after lunch. So you still have some time. Hopefully it holds off until after the kiddos get picked up from school if they had school today. But for now, the focus and concern is in western Arkansas. I'm going to be honest. I'm not too thrilled with how things are evolving so far. We haven't had widespread showers and storms. The atmosphere has kind of been left untapped. And the parameter space today is already ripe enough for significant severe weather, including tornadoes. So we really haven't had any failure modes yet to kind of help us bring that severe weather risk down. But as I stated earlier, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning that includes Sebastian County, mostly Sebastian, parts of southern Franklin, and southern Crawford County. If you live in Hackett or Bonanza or South Fort Smith, or not just South Fort Smith, the entire Fort Smith area, over to Barling, Lavaca, Greenwood, over to Charleston off Highway 22, you're likely going to deal with this storm here within the next 20 to 30 minutes, and it's probably going to be pretty noisy. There is no tornado warning at this time. I looked earlier, and I don't see anything of just great concern that's imminent, like a tornado threat, which is kind of to be expected. The tornado threat in western Arkansas today isn't as high as it is in eastern Arkansas. Obviously, doesn't mean we won't see storms. We're seeing that now. But the National Weather Service, I can go ahead and read you the text from the National Weather Service. We'll go over that together. A severe thunderstorm remains in effect. Severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 11:15 a.m. And this includes southwest Franklin, southwest Crawford, Sebastian, east central Haskell, that's in Oklahoma, and LaFleur, which is also in Oklahoma. And they reference that at 10:37 a.m., a severe thunderstorm was located 3 miles northwest of Cameron, which is also in Oklahoma, just across the Arkansas state line. And it's moving northeast at 60. So it's moving. Folks, these storms, when they're moving at 50, 60 miles an hour forward speed, they get cooking now. And they don't have to stop at stoplights. So ping pong size hail, max hail size, I think is what the National Weather Service is thinking for this, along with 60 mile an hour wind gust. It does kind of have a little bit of a hook on the backside. You can see right here, kind of like you would see in classic storms. But to me, just looking from the radar reflectivity only, this looks like a hailer type of storm where hail is the biggest concern. along with some stronger wind gust as it moves into your area. So I would encourage you, of course, when this storm moves in, it's going to be moving in quick, 60 miles an hour, to remain inside, stay away from windows. There's quite a bit of lightning. It looks like the largest hail could be here just southwest of Hackett, approaching Rock Island. So if you're watching me and you live in Bonanza, if you live in Hackett, if you live on Highway 10 east out of Hackett, like you're going to Greenwood, if you live in the Jenny Lynn community near Greenwood, I'm from this area, so I'm very familiar. You could deal with some hail here within the next 15, 20, 30 minutes. The forward flank, the northern side of this storm is likely to impact parts of Fort Smith, where I think the hail size might not be as big if there is any hail. It looks like the bigger hail is going to be on the south side. So I don't think it's pausing. I think it might be something on your phone. I haven't seen any other comments about that. It looks like it's good to go on my end. At least I hope. It's moving east-northeast. You can see the severe weather polygon shaped to the northeast here. This could eventually, obviously with time, not right now, but this severe warning could eventually include places like Mulberry. It could include places like Ozark, Coal Hill, Clarksville, and so on. It does include Van Buren, so parts of southern Crawford County. It includes places like Alma, Kibler, Rudy. Doesn't include Dyer and Mulberry at this time, but it could eventually. It also includes places in southern Sebastian County, not quite down to Hartford, but Midland. If you live in southern parts of Hackett, like down near Slaytonville, like between Hackett and Greenwood down, not quite to Huntington, but on Highway 71, if you live south of Greenwood, it includes you. Witcherville. So, good. Looks good. Somebody had commented about it pausing. I was just making sure that weren't having issues. So we've got those two thunderstorms. I want to touch on the Northwest Arkansas storm as well. Not as strong as the one down near Fort Smith, but if you're in Northwest Arkansas right now, this is like round 3. It's probably pretty noisy. You're probably getting pretty tired of this. I'm hoping that this is the last round for Northwest Arkansas. We'll see. There is some stuff off to the west, so we'll have to watch that. But I know a lot of you are watching in Central Arkansas and Eastern Arkansas. Real quick, I'll go over the risk with you guys, and we'll touch back on radar. We just did a real in-depth radar analysis, so I think we're okay for a second. I want to go over this real quick with everybody while I've got you on the live. And I'm going to do more of these lives today, obviously, when we have tornado warnings and stuff. But this is the severe weather risk today. The entire state of Arkansas has a risk. If you live in this state, I don't care where you are, whatever county you're in, you have a risk for severe weather today. I feel like the risk is much lower in western and northwest Arkansas, but in central, eastern, south central, southeast, and northeast Arkansas, it's substantially higher. Really, those areas along I-40, east of Little Rock to Memphis, south of Little Rock towards Pine Bluff, down towards Monticello, and then eastern and northeast Arkansas, Jonesboro, down to Marion, looking at places in eastern White County, Newport, places that have been hit so hard with tornadoes and large hail lately. Level 5 of 5 severe weather risk today. High risk. Pretty rare risk. We only get them, maybe once a year. Arkansas, our last one was in March of 2023. The Little Rock Tornado Day was our last high risk. The wind tornado. So we don't get these all the time. It's pretty rare. So definitely something to take serious and pay attention to. Pull up my restream chat here real quick. Yeah, it's probably pretty creepy looking in Fort Smith right now. As these storms move in, probably pretty dark skies. I want to reiterate that right now there is no tornado warnings for Sebastian, Franklin, or Crawford County. It's just a severe thunderstorm warning. I wanted to hop on and kind of chat about it a little bit because, well, we're probably going to have quite a bit of these today. I usually don't always go live for just a severe thunderstorm warning, but on a day like today, everybody's on high alert. I want to make sure that everyone's prepared and knows what's coming. That hail core still looks like it's persistent there just south of Pensacola, Rock Island. If you live in near Hackett, if you live near Bonanza, Highway 45 runs from Hackett up to Bonanza, and then 45 runs south down to Midland. This hail core looks like it's going to kind of go between Hackett and Bonanza. So if you live near Sebastian Lake, White Bluff, kind of that area, that's just me projecting out in my mind. If the hail core stays the same, you might get some hail out of this. Greenwood is included in the severe thunderstorm warning, but it looks like to me, maybe, this might nudge us just to the north. We'll see if it turns a little bit to the right. It could still impact us. The southern end might get us here in Greenwood. And then eventually Barling and Lavaca. The radar site's right here. That's what the hole is. That's not just a UFO or something. That's where the actual radar site is in South Fort Smith. And then, of course, this does include Lavaca, Charleston, Branch, parts of Franklin County, southern Crawford County, Fort Smith, Van Buren, Alma, Kibler. I can hear the thunder rumbling outside. Don't see anything that suggests an imminent tornado threat. So, great news there. Hopefully it stays the same. I don't think we're going to get a tornado in Fort Smith right now. So, I think Fort Smith is safe for the moment. I think if there was a tornado threat that evolved out of this, it would impact areas here from like Barling to Lavaca, Charleston, and so on. But Greenwood, areas maybe near Hackett. But right now, I don't see an imminent tornado threat as of 10:46 a.m. So we'll see if that stays the same. But this is a strong thunderstorm. It's a severe thunderstorm. And then we have the storm in northwest Arkansas as well that's moving through the area. That's not as strong as the storm we were just looking at, but it's quite noisy. Like I said, I live in this area, guys, where the severe thunderstorm warning is, near Fort Smith. So whenever this moves through, I lose power pretty